When I say this might just be one of the most requested videos on my to-do list, I don't want you to think that I'm lying. So today we're going to rank every single mountain for day 6 of Rankmas. Now, how do we determine what is and isn't a mountain? Well, for the sake of the video, I used my best judgment. So if you disagree with anything that I have or have not deemed as a mountain, let me know in the comments below. Following my best judgment, there are 11 solid mountains in GTA 5. In 11th place, we have the Davis Quartz Mountain, which is fairly unused, and it's also very small. Part of the reason that it's so small is because the central section of the mountain has been torn down for the Davis Quartz mines, which almost classified this as 2 separate mountains, but I thought we'd keep them together due to that back wall still being intact. Moving on to 10th, we transition slightly north to the San Chansky Mountain. This mountain is a little bit larger, but it's used about the same amount, having absolutely no missions, contacts, or anything else on the mountain, with the exception of one small gravesite. Next, we have Banham Mountain, which is located just north of the city and is home to the Quartz Center. This mountain is what divides Vinewood Hills from Kumosh and has good views overfacing the city and the ocean, which help it score pretty well. Just a hop, skip, and a jump north is Tongava Mountain, which I almost counted these two as one solid mountain, but I thought for the sake of the video, we'll split them up. If they weren't split up, it would still score basically in the same spot. This mountain has less views of the city, but even more views of the Alamo Sea and the ocean westward. However, the mountain does appear a little bit shorter from its base. It's actually a little bit taller than the previous mountains. Palomino Mountain is the last of our somewhat boring mountains. This one feels very flat and almost feels more like a hill than a mountain. And as someone who grew up in the mountains, I wouldn't even call this a mountain. However, it is the tallest landmass in this corner of the map, and it has decent views of the city as long as you look past the oil rigs and stuff that sit on the base of this mountain. However, in the grand scheme of things, this mountain isn't very important to the game, and out of all the mountains, if this was just a flat field area, I don't think much would change at all. Now, although Mount Gordo is one of my favorite mountains, it struggles due to the fact that it's very unused and also unimportant. Only being home to a junk time trial, a yoga site in story mode, and a facility in online, there's really not much going on here. However, it does have a good view of the Northeast Ocean and a little bit of the Alamo Sea. Its unique and rigid design is also one of the reasons that it got a better score, as well as the fact that it's very large and has a small lake located on top, as well as a small pond that I like to call the Mount Gordo Hot Springs. Tatvia Mountain probably had a lot more potential before the reservoir was put in, although maybe this was just 2 separate mountains. In any case, it is currently being counted as one mountain in a volcano style, but with water. This mountain is very large and stores all the water that the city could likely need. With amazing views of every part of the city, as well as views facing the Alamo Sea in the distance and the eastern shores, there's not much to complain about here. Before we break into the top 3 mountains, I wanted to let you know that I stream GTA 5 almost every Saturday on this channel, as well as over on my Twitch, which has better ways for you as a viewer to interact with me and my stream. So if you use Twitch and want to use your free Twitch Prime subscription on me, feel free to use this link and check me out over there. Continuing on, the Vinewood Mountain and the Observatory Mountain are basically tied for 3rd place, both being mid-sized, fairly tall, and very important with landmarks related to the story and missions. Both of these mountains have great views of the city. However, the Observatory Mountain does score slightly better in view, mostly because of the observatory, which has good views by itself, but also doubles as a great viewpoint for looking over the city. And the last mountain of the day is Mount Zancudo, which overlooks the military base, the Alamo Sea, and Raton Canyon. This mountain is very tall and very large, and can be difficult to climb up depending on what angle you're coming in at. Now, this mountain might be less important, but it's very beautiful, and without it, Raton Canyon wouldn't exist, and the military base would be exposed to a lot more threat. Once again, thank you all so much for tuning in to day 6 of Rankmas. Check out the whole series here, and I will see you tomorrow for the church ranking video. Oh yeah, how could I forget about Mount Chiliad? It wins. Perfect scores across the board, absolutely flawless mountain. Except for that one mystery we just can't seem to figure out. Huh.